Hey guys, I wanted to make a video today on cards that I keep getting messages about and a few comments, but I get a lot of messages about cards that people should or should not run in their decks. And I want to go, or why I don't run certain cards, and they try to argue with me, and I want to explain why I don't run and why you should run certain cards in Watts that are very necessary. So, first one I want to talk about is Thunder King. Now, I do not play Thunder Kings in Watts. There's reasons why I don't play Thunder King. One, I main 3 dualities and Watt Cobra. And yes, if you're a smart player, you can play around Thunder King and having pot in your hand. But why would you do that? Why would you just why wouldn't you just take Thunder Kings out of your deck and be able to use pot of dualities and then grab the threatenings and the warnings and whatnot from what you pick? See, that's why I don't like Thunder King, because in Watts, you don't really want to draw your Watts. You want to draw support for your Watts. Threatening, swords, yada yada. You don't want to keep drawing Watt monsters, because they can't protect themselves on their own. Even if you're running Watt Hopper, you don't want to just have 2 Watt Hoppers in a draft all by themselves. You want to have Starlight Road or Dark Bribe or something to protect them with. So Thunder King stops you from being able to thin your deck with Watt Cobra and take those Watts out of your deck to your hand. That is important in Watts. You really need to do that. Otherwise, you're going to have to just draw Watts. And that's really slow. That's one of the biggest things about Watts. Their biggest weakness is that they're kind of slow, but that's where Cobra helps a lot. Cobra speeds up the deck so much by providing you with monsters, thinning your deck so that you can draw your support. Thunder King totally halts that. Yes, Thunder King is a boss. He has high attack. He can stop special summons. He also stops your opponent from searching. But it stops you from searching. You need to search a lot too. You need to use those dualities. You need to use Cobra's effect. So do not run Thunder Kings. Also in Watts, the whole point is that they can all attack directly. Thunder King, of course, cannot attack directly. He has to run over something. So you're going to summon a Thunder King, and then he's going to get deprisoned really fast. And then you'll be like, oh, wow, I wish I would have drawn, some kind of something to be able to attack directly first. So just do not run Thunder Kings. The point of running Watts is to run all Watts and then all support stuff, which I'll go over in a second. But yeah, I highly recommend not running Thunder Kings. There's plenty of other cards you can replace them with that will stop special summons. Okay, so Thunder King, no bueno. Next thing I want to talk about is a couple of trap cards people keep telling me to run that I'm never going to run. One of them is, I don't have it on me, but it's Judgment of Thunder. Trap card. Its effect is when you summon a Thunder monster, I believe it's summon, yeah, when you summon a Thunder monster, you can destroy one card in the field. Here's why that card's bad. It's bad because that will not protect you at all. It's an aggressive card that destroys cards. And playing Watts, you should not be afraid of cards in the field, except for something like Solidarity, which is why you put in MSTs. You don't use Judgment of Thunder for Solidarity. What's going to happen is I see people running like 3 copies of Judgment of Thunder, which is really bad. Because you're going to have a couple of Judgment of Thunders and a Watt in hand. Sure, you'll summon a Watt, destroy a card, feel real cool about it. And then next turn, you're going to get your ass handed to you because you have no protection. You popped 1 card, big deal. But the Watts need protection because they're really weak. Another thing that's a problem is Stardust. Stardust is, if you play Yu-Gi-Oh! For 5 minutes, someone will tell you about Stardust. Stardust is a super staple in every extra deck. He's everywhere. Stardust has been reprinted into almost every, he's been printed into every rarity except common. Okay, you're going to see Stardust everywhere. So as soon as your opponent summons a Stardust, you're going to have Judgment of Thunder in your hand or on the field and not be able to use it because of Stardust. Stardust will just negate it. So that's one reason why it's really bad. Do not run Judgment of Thunders, please. Run Threatenings or something to protect your Watts instead. Another card people keep telling me to use, and apparently Yu-Gi-Oh! Musketeer also, because he also went over this, is Luminize, which is It sounds like a good idea on paper, but it's not a good idea. Luminize is a trap card. It reads, when your opponent declares an attack, you can negate the attack. I believe, I might be wrong here, but I believe it's you negate the attack, and then the monster that your opponent was attacking gains his attack. Yeah, he gains the attack of the attacking monster until your next end phase. So basically what that means is someone has a Thunder King and they attack my Giraffe, I can activate Luminize and negates the attack, and then Giraffe will gain 1900. And then next turn, you can attack Thunder King or attack directly. Here's the problem with that. The problem is, just like Yu-Gi-Oh! Musketeer went over, is what if I can't attack next turn? Then the boost was a waste. And plus, I wouldn't have gotten the same amount of damage in, and I'd rather run things like Mirror Force, or what I actually run instead is Magic Cylinder. Magic Cylinder is so much better, because you get all that damage in from the Thunder King, you negate the attack, and he takes damage in the face of 1900. Then next turn, you attack directly. So you just did the same thing, but it's a much safer and more efficient play, is to run Cylinders. Cylinders are a powerful card, especially against Agents and Dark Worlds, because they have such high attack. I've won games with this card before. Or I've at least put fear into my opponent, where they look at their life points, and they look on the field, and they're like, oh, man, what if he cylindered? I would lose. And they say, okay, go ahead. And then I'm just sitting there giggling in my head. Oh, you probably think I have a cylinder. Attack. So it doesn't matter. So Cylinders are very important. Much better than Luminized. Do not run Luminize, run Cylinders. Another important card is Starlight Road. Starlight Road is very, 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 very important for Watts. Because in Watts, all Watt decks are trap heavy. Always. All Watts have lots of support on the back row, and also you need a lot of field presence. If you're running the lock, you have a minimum of 2 monsters because you have 2 Watt Hoppers. And then you're going to summon an attacker, Giraffe or Cobra. And you probably always want either or both in the field, so you're going to have around 3 monsters at all times. And you need Starlight Road to protect those monsters. They Dark Hole, Torrential, boom, Starlight Road. If it goes through, oh my gosh, it's amazing. You get Stardust, and now you can protect yourself for another turn. It's fantastic. Yes, Warning can negate Starlight Road, but that's where, as a smart Watt player, you can think that's 2,000 life points that I've taken away. Now you just have to keep attacking with Giraffe and Cobra and thinning the deck. That's where your opponent really thinks about the amount of life points that they're using, because you don't realize in Watts how fast you're losing life points. I've dueled so many people where a few turns in, they look at their life points like, wow, I'm already down to like 1,200, 2,000, 2,400 life points because you've been poked with Giraffe all day. It's fantastic. So I run double Starlight Road because I have plenty of back row and I have plenty of monster presence. So I need to protect myself from Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, Icarus, all kinds of stuff. Starlight Road is amazing for those kind of plays. So I highly recommend every Watt deck should be having a minimum of 2 Starlight Roads, and of course 2 Stardust in the extra deck, because these guys are amazing for protecting your shit. It's fantastic. It's really good. So please run these cards. Other things I wanted to talk about is people ask me why I don't run Solidarities with, again, Thunder Kings and all Watts. The reasons why I don't run Solidarities is because these cards are totally broken. Okay? These cards are insane. One of them, the first one here, is Sangan. Sangan is amazing because he can search your entire deck. If you're running Watts, hopefully without Thunder Kings, even with Shining Angels, which I highly don't recommend either, when Sangan is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can search any monster in your deck. All my monsters in my deck, I can get them all with Sangan. I can get Honest, I can get Effect Veiler, Maxi, Giraffe, Cobra, anything I want. All from one monster. He's broke. You gotta run Sangan. He's amazing in Watts. That's one reason why I don't Solidarity. Another reason is Honest. I'm running all the Watts or Lights. You have to run Honest. Honest beats everything. It's fantastic. I've gotten over a limiter for game before. I've gotten over Horn of the Phantom Beast. I've gotten over Lance, I've gotten over everything with this card. It's amazing. Honest is so important in Watts. It is so important. It's right now with three MSUs and heavy storms, hand traps are all the rage right now, and this is one of the biggest ones that any archetype can run. Or I'm sorry, like attribute, the archetype here, lights can run is honest. It's busted. You need to run honest. It's very important. Another card which I realize if you're a budget Watt player you might not have, but if you do want to play competitively, I highly suggested investing in is Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler is totally broke because, like I said, in Watts you need to draw your protection, and it's very important to be able to use Effect Veiler to stop Black Rose and Trishula plays. Yes, there are cards that can stop summons like Watt Cancel, which just came out with Photon Shockwave along with Watt Cobra. But the problem with Watt Cancel is you have to ditch a Watt from your hand, and you don't really want to do that. There's only, I run, let's see, 3 Cobras. I run 11 Watts in my deck. You're not always going to have them. You're not always going to be able to attack directly with Cobra every turn and get Watts in your hand and feel Watt Cancel. So you're going to ditch the one monster in your hand and not have anyone to attack with. It's even worse if you ditch a Dragonfly, something that could have saved your ass. So it's really important to not run 3 Watt Cancels and instead to invest in Effect Veilers. Because normally if you're running Threatenings or the Lock, you don't care about Trishula or Black Rose just being on the field because they can't attack you anyway. It's their effects that really destroy you. So Effect Veiler is busted, and that's why you don't run Solidarities. Number 3. Number 4, a card that is just broke in the meta right now, Maxi. Maxi, in all my videos with Watts, I talk about Maxi just being insane, fantastic, busted, crazy, nuts. It's broke. Maxi is, with plants, synchro everywhere, Maxi is important to stop those plays. And trust me, even in Watts, your opponent will hesitate to let you draw a bunch of cards because they know that you're going to draw a bunch of support. Or if they keep going and you plus, even just plus 1, 2, 3 cards, you probably have the nuts in your hand to just have complete control for the rest of the game. That's what Watts are. Watts are an aggressive control deck, but you need those pluses, and you need your opponent to stop just going totally nuts on you. And that's where Maxi stops all those plays. If somebody goes Trish on you, you don't lose anything. Because they probably took, 2 to 3 special summons to get the Trish out anyway. So you just plussed all those cards. And you didn't lose anything from the Trishula play. And you can come back from it no problem. So that's where Maxi is very important in the meta right now. So again, those are the reasons why I do not run Solidarity, because these cards are so much better than Solidarity. Let's see, I think that's all I had for tonight. I have a little sloppy note of text here I was going to go over. That seems about it. So yeah, please, I highly recommend not running Thunder Kings, because even though you can play around them, it's not worth just being able to negate one special summon. It's not worth it. Someone will Caius this, and then you're going to be sad. So please don't do that. Please run Starlight Road and Magic Cylinder. Excuse me. They're really good, and they're totally busted in Watts because you need to get damage in as fast as possible, and you need to protect your shit. And if you can, please invest in these cards. They will win you games. I guarantee it. They're very good. And please run these. Sanguine and Honest. So important in a WoD deck. So important. So that's all I have for tonight. Thank you for watching. I'm Jesse, and if you have any comments or questions or suggestions, please post them down below, or message me if you guys want any help on a WoD deck. And thank you for watching.